Hey guys, this is Noah Best Drummer. So last episode was cut short, so I honestly might just add this part of the episode to the previous one. I'll figure it out in editing. But anyways, I am back, so we're gonna get back into this case, and then I think I'm gonna try and finish it today. I'm gonna try and finish this case because I don't think there's much left. I don't think that there would be a third day. A third investigation day and third trial day for this. I think this last little trial segment is going to be it for this case. And then we will move on to, if it'll click, oh no, the haunted turnabout. And then what's the one after that? Oh god, it's glitching out. Hello? Pyrite? Are you good? Turnabout of the snow, and then... There's also hello? Oh god. Pyrite is not responding. Nope, we're good. And the ensnared turnabout. So, those are the episodes. So, we're going to finish this one. So, I'm going to try and stay a good distance from the mic because I think the first episode, episode 5, I think episodes 5 through 9 all have me talking way too close to the mic. Okay, so, let's go. I know of Mr. Wright's reputation as a lawyer. He always ends up proving a witness guilty. I was becoming increasingly uncomfortable and agitated. What if I was tried as the murderer? When I had heard enough, I put on quite a show, I think you'll agree, and fled. You must understand, this was merely done out of panic and stress, and I apologize. Well, panic can cause feelings of entrapment. If you're telling the truth, Mr. Crump, then I can totally sympathize with you there. Why is the judge looking at me? Yes, well, I have always been a faint-hearted fellow. I have had a series of stress-related issues in the past, you see. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? Go easy on the witness and his fragile nerves in the future, will you? Why am I the bad guy here all of a sudden? Sure. Very good. Begin the cross-examination. That's not always true. Mr. Wright, what have I told you about scaring the witness? Huh? But I didn't, Scare the witness again and you will be penalized. Damn you, imposter Crump. Well, if you aren't the killer, then you have nothing to worry about. Yes, boy, but think. Think, Mark, think! Remember the events of yesterday, if you will. With you contradicting my most satisfactory testimonies and shaking your finger at me, I grew agitated and panicked. I have heard stories of innocents found guilty while the murderers ran free. And I come into this story how? Quite a show? Yes, my rather extravagant breakdown, if you will. Most unbecoming of me, I admit. I see. And where did you flee to? Your home? Oh ho ho ho, of course not. You didn't? Did you really think I would retreat to a place where I knew I would be discovered? Use your brain, boy. I don't understand. Why wouldn't you want anybody finding you? You know, just out of curiosity. Well, I was so ashamed of what I had done. My outburst, that is, I admit one wasn't quite using one noodles at the time. I didn't want to return until I had collected myself. Then I was going to apologize, as I have now just done. So he says he never entered his house at all yesterday? That directly contradicts Detective Snow's finding the body. He must have entered the house and done something with the body. I wonder if there's a way I can prove he did enter his house. Mr. Crump. I can't believe I'm still going with this charade. Could you please add that statement to your testimony? I can't see the harm. It is the truth after all. Never set foot in his house. I can't say that. I can't really say that either. The only thing I can think of is a sliding cabinet, because he's the only one who knows. He's the only one who knows about it. I don't want the game to completely just break on me again, though. So... oh. Damn. I'm pretty sure I have like 0 health right now. I don't want to look at a walkthrough. Ugh. You know, I'm gonna press it first, just to be sure. Describe what happened while you fled. I was heading for my home to begin with, but then I was spotted by the cowboy and his search party. I had no choice but to try and lose them in the mountains. No small feat, mind you, considering my legs aren't what they used to be. Yeah, I bet. Eventually I lost them by hiding in a small crevice down in the gorge. After about an hour of hiding, I was found again. I believe you know the rest. But I assure you... Panic and stress? Yes, I have explained numerous times about my nervous dispositions, boy. Listen! Sorry. Panic, I don't buy that for 1 second. He deliberately ran from the courthouse. But how are we gonna prove it? I'm not sure, but something he just said sounded a little odd. Okay. I don't want to risk ending the game, because if I run out of health, apparently in this game, it just like it basically just like kicks you out of the game. It completely shuts down the application. So I don't want to deal with that. So I'm gonna have to look at the walkthrough. Unless I know 100% what the answer is, I'm gonna look at the walkthrough. I apologize. Okay, I found the answer. It is not the sliding cabinet, so I would have gotten it wrong, and I would have had to boot up the game again. So apparently, it is the scraps of rubber. And I think I understand why, because this piece was found in his hiding place. I see what they're going for. I understand the contradiction, but it's getting to it that's really bothering me about this game. Like, the story's interesting. I will say the story is interesting. I like the idea of one of the witnesses of the case just dying. That's a really cool concept. But the contradictions in the gameplay in this game are honestly pretty god-awful. I have to be honest. Like, I've heard it does get better. It does get better, so I just need to keep reminding myself that it will get better. But, yeah, let's just go. Objection! Witness, you claim to have not set foot in your house at all yesterday? Of course. Are you insinuating that I am lying? I'll let you answer that for me. Do these look familiar? Should they? What are these? They are scraps of rubber, Your Honor. But more to the point, these scraps were found in your house, Mr. Crump, specifically in your secret room. And this relates to my statement how? That was the judge voice. And this relates to my statement how? We found another one of these scraps in your hiding place under Verglass Bridge. You what? Remember when Detective Marshall found and arrested you? You left this little telltale piece of evidence behind. Oh ho! Order! Order! Mr. Wright, if these rubber scraps were found in the witness's secret room, then why was one found in his hiding place? The most obvious conclusion I'm arriving at is that the witness did enter his house, namely his secret room, hence why this single scrap was somehow on his person. You see, Your Honor, these rubber pieces were found in an unlocked cabinet in the secret room. They must have been put in there soon after Crump ran from the courthouse. To explain the single scrap of rubber left behind in Verglass Gorge, so the witness did enter his house, yes. To hide these incriminating pieces of evidence. Order! Order in the court! Incriminating pieces of evidence? How so? It's starting to make sense now. The real Crump's body wasn't in the secret room when me and Maya investigated. The imposter must have fled back home and took the body out of hiding. Must have tried to hide these rubber scraps in the process. I think it's now time to reveal the fake Crump. Your Honor? What the fuck are you about to say? Now he chooses to object? Mr. Brisbane, is there... Quiet, Judge. I'm thinking. Mr. Crump. Yes? Testify again about the moment of the crime. Mr. Your Honor, why do you want the witness to testify about that again, Mr. Briz? Judge, grant my request, now. Of course. There's no problem, Well, bang that flimsy gavel and get on with it, man! It can't be. What's wrong, Nick? You look like you've seen a ghost. I think I finally remembered where I've seen Miss Brisbane's techniques before. It wasn't because of him, was it? Very well. Would the witness please testify once more about what he witnessed? You better be ready for the cross-examination, Wrong. Of course. Well, do a better job this time. Yes. What is he up to? So my initial testimony isn't good enough for you people, is it? Testimony, now. Ugh. Okay, the absolute truth. Nothing but the truth. Now see here, people, I am telling the absolute truth and what I saw. I heard the commotion, obtained my binoculars, and saw two men on the opposite side of the bridge. The taller man stabbed the short, fat man in the heart. The heart, I tell you. And it was Vincenzo Cicatrice. I saw the scar on the left side of his face. And this is the absolute truth, as you say, witness? Yes! When will you people start taking an old man seriously? There has to be something in this testimony I can nail him with, for Vincenzo's sake. I'm getting closer to the real killer. Mr. Wright, you may begin the cross-examination of Mr. Crump's final testimony. The absolute truth? What do you think it means, boy? What reason have I to lie? Oh, I think you know. This is what really happened. Can you identify the two men at the bridge? One was short and rotund, the other was slim and tall. The latter was blocking my view of the former. This is the best I could see with my binoculars. I see, and then what happened? Why are you so sure it was the heart that was penetrated by the killer's blade? I didn't think you'd be able to have seen the murder that clearly. Ha! Your sleepy ways will not work on a being as intelligent as myself. I have heard so from what has been said in the court about the murder. But I do declare the killer turned his head to the left and I saw his scar. Oh, now you're saying he turned his head to the left? But it's true, I tell you. I must have gotten my left and right confused, my boy. Suppose this isn't a solid enough basis to point out a contradiction. But wait, something about that statement sounds a little odd. Press harder. Mr. Crump, repeat that statement for me, please. It was Vincenzo Cicatrice. I saw the scar on the left side of his face. There it is again. I heard something odd. Mr. Crump, were you about to call the defendant Vinny? Was I about to call him... So what if I was? I knew it. I knew I wasn't imagining things. Could you repeat that for the record, Mr. Crump? Yes, I was about to call him Vinny. So what? Rats. I'm drawing a blank. The only thing that can help me is solid evidence. Why did Brisbane want the witness to testify again? Why does he want me to do a better job with this cross-examination? Is he trying to tell me something? Let me see. I would say the note, probably. Vinny. Because it says Vinny. The back button is kind of covering it, but it says Vinny. And I remembered that Vincenzo is only called Vinny by, like, close friends and, like, people he knows, I believe. So, like, let me go to the DT2 case file. His name isn't given. I would say it's the crumpled up note. I'm actually confident in this one. So hopefully this doesn't end the game. Objection! So this. What is that, Mr. Wright? This letter was found in the victim, Mr. Grossberg's office, Your Honor. From its contents, we can gather that this was sent to him by the killer. Let me see that. Why, yes, this must have been sent to the victim to lure him to the crime scene. But I'm curious, Mr. Wright. How does this have any bearing on the witness's statement just now? Read the name at the bottom of the letter. Vinny. Sound familiar, witness? Mr. Wright, what are you saying? Mr. Crump. You sent this letter to the victim. Order! Order in the court! But I'm sure many people have nicknamed the rapscallion Vinny. You're the only one associated with this case who has called the defendant Vinny, witness. That pretty much narrows down the possibilities, don't you agree? But you still have no evidence of me being the murderer. Oh, yes, I do, Crump. Oh, you see, people, the defense has no... Wait, what? You want proof of your involvement with the murder? I believe I have it. You do? Mr. Brisbane, you've been awfully quiet for a while. What is your opinion on this? He's still staring at Crump. Go ahead. That was certainly hassle-free. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may present the evidence if you have it. But be warned, a lengthy penalty awaits if you are wasting time. Very well, Your Honor. Please present evidence that shows Mr. Crump is the murderer. Oh, man. I don't know. Maybe the card? But I don't know what the two rings can mean. I'm still lost on what that means. I don't want to look at the guide. This pursuit theme fucking slaps, I have to be honest. I haven't been commenting on the music of this fan game, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. But I think the only thing it could be is like the playing card, but I'm gonna have to look at the guide. I don't have a lot of health. Okay, it's not the playing card. I don't know why, but I guess it's not. It's gonna be this piece of rubber, because when we did look at it, we put the pieces back together and it came out to be a face mask that looks like Vincenzo's face. And it does make sense, but I wish that it asked this question in a more easy to understand way. But whatever. I guess it's the piece of rubber. What are those? The evidence, Your Honor. These torn pieces of rubber are your evidence? Exactly. I know what this object was originally. Let me just rearrange the pieces. Excuse me, just a second, Your Honor. Done. Don't be so smug, Mr. Wright. Show us what you've made. Very well. The object that was torn to shreds was this. I say, is that a mask of the defendant? That's right. The defense believes this was worn by the killer at the time of the crime. This is most certainly being added to the court record. But that's odd. I thought you always said that his scar was on the right side of his face. Well, I was clearly wrong, my boy. I acknowledge the scar to be on the left. I disagree. We now have the reason as to why you thought that. This mask. Look at what side of the mask the scar is on. Why, it's on the right. And this is what Mr. Crump was referring to when mentioning the scar. But why is the scar on the wrong side?
Objection.
Hold it right there. How do you know this mask has anything to do with the witness? Need I remind you where those scraps of rubber were found? They were found in the secret room of Titus Crump's mansion. What? Order! 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 Tell me, witness, how do they end up there of all places? I demand an answer now. Ugh. Where's your proof that the witness actually wore that mask? You'd know if the witness wore that mask very easily, if you smelled him. Smelled him. I beg your pardon, Mr. Wright? Aha, I know my request sounds a little odd, Your Honor, but I assure you it'll make perfect sense once you do as I ask. Never in my years as a judge have I said what I am about to say. Bailiff, please smell the witness. The judge has gone bright red. Your Honor, the witness appears to smell of rubber. I see. I hope for your sake, Mr. Wright, that I have not embarrassed myself unnecessarily. I assure you that you haven't, Your Honor. Although the bailiff looks more embarrassed. Now, bailiff, I would like you to smell this mask and tell me what you think. Why, it's the exact same scent as the witness. You see, Your Honor? This proves that the witness wore this mask recently. Order! Order! Order!
Objection.
The witness wore this mask recently. You nearly had me for a moment, Mr. Wrong. What? No way he can get out of this one. Aren't you forgetting? The crime happened over 2 days ago, and the mask has been long torn up. So my question to you, Mr. Wrong, is, how can this witness still smell the mask if he hasn't worn it for 2 days? If Crump last wore the mask 2 days ago, he's right. The smell would have worn off ages ago. So this witness must have a rubbery smell for a different reason. Care to elaborate? Couldn't the smell have possibly remained since he has worn the mask, Nick? He's right, I'm afraid, Maya. The possibility of that is next to zero. But wait, almost forgot. He's an imposter. Could it be that he's... The defense has an idea to clear up this whole misunderstanding, and at the same time, prove that this witness is a killer. Ha! You lie! Are you sure, Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. I believe I have the answer to this whole thing. And at the same time, reveal the imposter. The witness still smells of rubber. This is because he's wearing another mask. A mask of Titus Crump. Finally, time to blow the truth wide open. Ladies and gentlemen, the man at the witness stand is not the real Titus Crump. Wrong. You're just a... That's... Our witness is an imposter? Mr. Wright, are you serious? I'm deadly serious, Your Honor. The real Titus Crump is dead, just as Detective Snow has said. That rhymed. This man then took the guise of Crump with a mask of his face. That man is responsible for the murder and impersonation of Titus Crump. Witness? Witness. You're wearing a rubber mask of Titus Crump, the same rubber as the Vincenzo mask. Remove it now and show us who you really are. Oh, yep, that was Vex Vuler. Let's fucking go. Righty boy. You. There! Happy now? Who's that? Oh, dude, Brisbane's gonna lose his shit. Whoever he is, Brisbane doesn't seem very happy at all. You're Vex Vuler. Displeased to meet you all. Wait, I know you too. You're the prosecutor who was found guilty of murder about 5 years ago. Well done, Udgy boy. I thought you'd have gone senile by now. How dare you? Brisbane's literally steaming. Ah, Brisbane, in my mind, this is a small world. Looking happy as ever, I see. Vulper. Vulper, why you no good, conniving, sniveling. I thought I said about you, fella. You were forever after you took my eye, and I nearly goddamn died in the hospital. Will your anger you fall? I'll kill you for the last thing I do, Vex Vuler. I swear, death, you Vulper, death, 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 death. Death, 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 death. Holy shit, go off. You know, I'm starting to think he doesn't like me. Bailiff, what is the situation with Mr. Brisbane? He was trying to calm down in the prosecutor's lobby, Your Honor. Good job you got him out of here while you could. He could have said something to offend me. This court will now take a 15-minute recess while Mr. Brisbane composes himself. And, to replace the desk he has just destroyed. Guards, seize Mr. Vulper and keep him here until the court reconvenes. This man was the prosecutor in the DT2 trial? What's he doing here of all places? This shit just got real. Okay, now I'm really enjoying this. I loved Vex Vulper's character in the flashback trial. He was just so ruthless. He's actually also pretty funny, so I'm enjoying that he's back. Vex Vulper, how did he get out of prison? He was the prosecutor in your last trial, Vinny? Correct. He was found guilty for the murder of Brisbane's friend, Jack Crane. And the intentional bodily harm to Brisbane further increased his sentence. And now he's back, 5 years later. He has to be the killer. There can't be any doubt left in this trial. I wouldn't be celebrating so soon, Mr. Wright. Huh? He seems so laid back with the whole situation. Don't you think that seems a little strange? Come to think of it, he did seem cocky and confident, although the situation seems bad for him. I agree, he must have something up his sleeve. Mate. Is it true? Are they gonna lay me off? I don't think that'll be likely anymore, Detective Snow. Now the imposter has revealed himself, everything you've said can still be believed. Really? Well, how about that? Somehow I'm not so enlightened by the news myself. Which reminds me, why did you tell Brisbane about Crump's death? Sorry, mate. He can kinda get scary, you know? Suppose there's nothing we can do about it now. But I don't understand. Hasn't Vulper been in prison these past few years for murder? The last I saw of him, he was being dragged out of the courtroom, cursing and blinding. Obviously, he would have been taken to prison. How did he escape? Well, listen, mates. I'm gonna scoot. Good luck, Harry. My name's not... Oh, he's gone. It's time, shall we? Of course. Can we do it, Nick? Vulper's a known felon. The judge shouldn't take too long in deciding a verdict. I'll get you, Vulper, for Mr. Grossberg. Court is back in session. Unfortunately, Mr. Brisbane must remain in the prosecutor's lobby. He has not calmed down yet. I'm afraid the trial must therefore be postponed until he is so. What? Postpone the trial? Who knows what Vulper will get up to if that happens? What should I do? Fuck you, objection. Your Honor, please continue the trial. It must continue. But we cannot hold a fair trial without the prosecution. This man doesn't deserve a fair trial. He's a known murderer, after all. He killed Marvin Grossberg and Titus Crump. Yes, he did it. The defense is right. That guy so obviously did it. How could he murder an impersonating old man like that? He's guilty. Look at him. He killed those two old men. Guilty, 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 guilty. Shut up, all of you. I've never met anyone like this in my life. As much as it pains me to say, I'm afraid by law, a fair trial must be held. Yep, so, hey, I'm sorry, folks, but laws are laws. So that's it? You're gonna let the murderer off because we don't have a prosecutor? I am sorry, the law is paramount in the courthouse. The trial must be postponed until we have a replacement prosecutor. No, we almost had him. Tough break, people. Looks like I won't be standing trial today. Very well, the trial will continue tomorrow morning. Court is adjourned.
Objection!
Your Honor, please wait. I say, Mr. Cicatrice. Vincent, so? What is he doing? Your Honor, please continue the trial. But you heard me. We have no prosecutor. I have an idea for a replacement. What? I'm sorry, Mr. Cicatrice, but you are not qualified to stand as... Not me, Your Honor. I'm talking about you, Vex Vuler. Ah, what? Are you serious, Vinny boy? I am. You were once a prosecutor, yes? I say you stand as prosecutor for yourself. Do you have some sort of death wish or something? If I was my own prosecutor, I'd easily win against this third-rate amateur. None taken. Your Honor, I request Vex Vuler take the place of prosecutor. This is certainly new. Never before has a witness been prosecutor as well. Mr. Wright, do you have any objections to this proposal? So Vuler will serve as his own prosecutor. Something similar happened to me during the red-white case. I became the defendant and had to defend myself. I'll take down this slime ball. My client's wishes come first, Your Honor. The defense has no objections. Then it's settled. I'll be acting as unofficial prosecutor against your accusations at me. This is still doubtful. The place should belong to a certified prosecutor. Certainly not an ex-prosecutor of all people. Very well. This trial will continue. Time to see if you're as red devilish as everyone says you are. Mr. Vuler? Yup. You are under grave suspicion for the murders of Marvin Grossberg and Titus Crump. Not only that, but you have impersonated one of the victims to create a witness to your crime. How do you plead? Not guilty, Your Honor. Order! Order! You deny all this? Well, I did impersonate Crump, but I didn't kill anyone. In fact, you have no reason to suspect me at all. No reason? It was clearly you who killed Grossberg and Crump. Okay then, righty boy. Prove it. Very well. I have, I have nothing. Ah, that's what he means. There's no evidence whatsoever to suggest him as the killer. I think you've caught on. There haven't been any traces of my identity found during the investigation. Nothing to implicate me as Grossberg and Crump's killer. And evidence is everything, my boy. But, what about this note? Because the name says Vinny? You're the only one who has called him Vinny. Wrong. What about that girl over there? She's been calling him Vinny too, as I recall. But I'm not the killer. That's not my point, girlie. My point is that I'm not the only one who calls him Vinny. It's not solid enough proof to implicate me as the sender of that letter. But your reaction to my accusation that you sent the letter, that was intentional. It was to throw you off the scent when I finally revealed myself. Then when you were to present that evidence again, like you just now did, it would have set you up for a bigger fall. What? He really is the Red Devil. Order! Order, I say! Mr. Vuler, I would like you to give testimony as to why you are not the killer. Ah, testimony. This takes me back. Sure thing. You asked for it. Okay. You check the time. 30 minutes. So, next time, we are going to tackle this testimony. We're going to beat the fuck out of this guy, and we're going to finish this case once and for all.